Hello, YouTube. I'm Palin, the side pressure dog, and I'd like to welcome you to our meeting on another one of our meetings on the straps and the buckle. And if it matters, joining me today is our friend the emu, and that dude down there in the lower right hand. Paid no attention to the dude in the lower right hand corner. That know-it-all thinks you know. We don't need to bother him. Although I do have a question. How come it says how to arm wrestle with arm wrestling champion Todd Hutchings when all matters of the strap and the buckle are basically my input? Shouldn't that say with side pressure dog Palin? Oh, well. It says arm wrestling champion Todd Hutchings because I can type and you cannot. So I control. So he who can write history controls history. All right, very good. So, Mr. Todd, does the buckle matter? And does it matter more than a coin toss in determining the match? Well, of course, the buckle matters. Everybody knows the buckle matters. And if everybody knows it matters, that basically means it matters. That's like the definition of what's true is everybody knows it, that therefore it's true. Bro science! It's not bro science. It's just the naturally acceptable knowledge of things. I'm not sure that's how truth is determined, is by whether or not people know it. I think truth is something that can be irrefutably proven based on first principles. Or as someone once said, the truth cannot be explained in such a manner as to be understood and not believed. Well, we all understand that the buckle matters, and that's just it. You can just ask anybody. And if you just ask anybody and they say the buckle matters, by default, it matters. Well, there's a difference between believing something matters and it doesn't. For instance, we still have TV shows where people are looking for Bigfoot, and there's obviously no Bigfoot. No, there obviously is a Bigfoot, because if there wasn't a Bigfoot, there'd be no TV show hunting Bigfoot. Of course there's a Bigfoot. We just have to find him yet. We've been looking for Bigfoot for 80 years and nobody's found one. Yet. Nobody's found one yet. Or nobody's found a yeti. That's so funny. Science. Okay. I definitely have to get a better team. So anyways, back to whether or not the buckle matters. There's videos on this channel that cover the physics of the strap and the buckle matter, but it's time to see if the buckle matters and its effect should be seen in real world matches. Yes, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. We will say that if you have the buckle, you are at a severe disadvantage. Everybody knows that. Well, if that were the case, don't you think that we would have changed the rules by then? Well, of course not. In drag racing, you get lane choice. One lane will be faster than the other, and you get lane choice. So the buckle in arm wrestling is really no different than lane choice. The buckle is completely different than lane choice. Lane choice is something that the two lanes are already constructed and cannot be modified. The buckle, the strap could obviously be modified to not have a buckle or to have a buckle on each side. I've had it with your doggy voodoo. The buckle matters. We all know it. Let's just get on with what you called us here for, because this is Friday night and I've got serious things I have to get done tonight. Drinking! All right, so to put the buckle to the test, what we need is a sample of real world matches. And then all we got to do is basically compute the win-loss columns for the buckle versus the non-buckle and make sure that any effect on the buckle side is statistically significant, i.e. that it couldn't be determined by chance. By chance, the pink cowboy hat wearing Florida stud? No, chance, the random probability in the system that only has 1 degree of freedom. I'd rather just ask chance. I think chance knows that the buckle matters because everybody knows the buckle matters. So anyways, this is your popcorn show. How do you propose we do this? Well, funny you should ask. What we can do is we can go find a real world series of events, and we will lay out a methodology that anybody can duplicate our methodology. They can duplicate it with our exact data and check our results, and they can do it with any other statistically significant sample of data. Statistically significant usually starts in the upper 20s. It's widely agreed upon to be at least 30 matches. You can apply the statistics to lower sample sizes, but your confidence is usually lessened at that point. And in most manufacturing facilities or people who rely on statistics a lot, 32 is usually the minimum sample size. So what we will do is we will look at the WAL 500 series. These matches are on the WAL's YouTube channel. The links are posted here. Anybody can go watch this data. They can count the matches and they can figure out, the win-loss competition of the whether the buckle matters. WAL, and who invited the emu? Oh, that's awesome, because now you're going to see buckle matters, buckle matters, buckle matters, buckle matters, buckle matters, boom, 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 boom. So here we go. Here's all the matches in the WAL 500 series. Can you zoom in on that, Mr. I have thumbs? And as you can see, WL in Pittsburgh, Silver's Chileno, no strap matches. Nancy Locke and what's her name? Victoria Carlson, 1 strap match. The buckle lost, so that's marked in green because that was what you expected. Oh, which brings us to, if the buckle matters, do you want the buckle or do you not want the buckle? You definitely do not want the buckle. If you have the buckle, you got several disadvantages. One, with the buckle on your side, as they tighten the strap, the buckle's on this side of your hand and they tighten the strap, it rolls your hand over. So you start at an inconvenient situation when your hand's rolled over. Also, if you got the buckle on the back of your hand, the head ref is over your right shoulder. So in order to watch his lips to see when he says go, you're turning over your shoulder, as opposed to the guy facing the ref turns with his shoulder in towards the table. So if you got the buckle, your shoulder moves back. If you don't have the buckle, your shoulder moves in. You're heading towards that ref. If you have the buckle, the down ref calls your pins. The down refs are further away and they're off to the side because they got to stay out of the way of the cameras. If you don't have the buckle, the up ref is calling your pins, which means he's not watching your elbow foul. So you get away with a little few more shenanigans. If you have the buckle, the down ref or refs are concentrating on your elbow and watching your elbow fouls, because the head ref has your hands for curling and early starts and stuff. So there are several significant disadvantages to have the buckle. So it's not just the buckle. We call it the buckle's the bad side, but there are several disadvantages to having the buckle. So then if your theory's correct, with all that stacked against the buckle wearers, you'd expect the buckle to lose, and you'd expect them to lose a significant quantity of matches. Zoom is not working right. Buckle matters. You expect the buckle to lose all the matches. Definitely way more than they win. All right, so back to our analysis. As you can see, WAL 501 Pittsburgh, Jordan and Storm, 0 buckle matches. Locke and Carlson had 1. Ehrlich and Katowski, the buckle won one match. Katowski won a match in the buckle, and Katowski won a match with the buckle. So Katowski just won 2 strap matches in a row, with and without the buckle. Vigent versus Toulier. RVJ won. RVJ RVJ won when Craig had the buckle. Toulier won when RVJ had the buckle. RVJ won when Craig had the buckle. RVJ won when he had the buckle. So RVJ won 2 matches without the buckle and 1 with the buckle. Tony's 50-50. RVJ wins twice with the buckle and 1 without. Devin Lorette and this Hutchings fool. Lorette won when Hutchings had the buckle. Lorette won when he had the buckle. So Lorette's as good as Tony Katowski. Those 2 should have a super match. Oh, Richmond, Virginia. Look at this. Krause won with the buckle. Barbosa won with the buckle. Todd versus Chafee. Michael Todd won with the buckle. Michael Todd won when Dave had the buckle. Michael Todd wins with the buckle. Bishop and Solaris. Bishop wins with the buckle. Lost 1. Bishop wins another one with the buckle. Nancy Locke wins with the buckle. Giannis won with the buckle. So WAL 502 looks like the buckle's not too bad. That's, what is that? 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 versus 3. Still think the buckle matters? Well, yeah, because I mean, if you're flipping a coin, you could, if you flip a coin 40 times in a row, you can get 10 or 15 heads in a row. It doesn't mean that it's doesn't matter. But you're saying the buckle matters. The buckle, it's not a matter. A coin toss should be 50-50. You're saying the buckle matters. Well, there might have just been something wrong with that buckle. Maybe the camera reversed it. Maybe it was on selfie camera, and maybe the buckle was actually on the other guy's hand and we just couldn't see it. You are really grasping at straws now. Bro science, bro science. What is bro science? Allow me to interject. Near as I can tell, bro science is something that people who don't understand science yell at people who do understand science because they can't argue on the merits. So it's like calling somebody a racist when you can't refute their argument. Well, I really got to think twice about inviting that emo to the next meeting. WAL 505 in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Let's see. Went 3-2 with Adam Wilmot and Jeff Hale. Mask and Gasparini. The people with the buckle lost more times than they won. Danny Tesh. Danny Tesh is like the world's greatest arm wrestler. Danny Tesh won with and without. Danny Tesh won twice with the buckle and won 1 without the buckle. Farai and Carlson, 0 strap matches. Hutchins and Carteret. Carteret won a match with the buckle and without the buckle. Baltimore. Ooh, look at that. Jeff Hale, Sam Harris. Look at that. Every one of the matches between Jeff and Sam Harris, the guy with the buckle won. Mask versus Hutchins. Hutchins won 1 with the buckle. He won 2 without the buckle. SB and Carteret. Carteret won 3 strap matches, 2 with the buckle, 1 without. Michelle Dugan and Angie Rose. Everybody who won had the buckle on their hands. WAL 504 in Los Angeles. Lorette and Chafee. We didn't catch the first one. Lorette won with the buckle. He did a king's move. It looks like Dave forfeited. Then Dave Chafee had the buckle. Lorette won. It was a double kings move, ended on foul. So even with the fouls, the buckle, he won. So Lorette won 3 matches with the buckle. Actually, looks like he won. I don't know who won this first one. Kleinsmith and Rysick. Kleinsmith won 3 strap matches, 1 with the buckle. Perone and Mask. Mask won with the buckle. Jamie Sheldon and Alan Fisher. Sheldon won 3 strap matches, 2 with the buckle. 506 in Atlanta. Juji Mufu won with the buckle. That looked fake. Katowski and Harris. Katowski won 2, 1 with, 1 without the buckle. Harris won 1 when Tony had the buckle, but it looks like Tony forfeited. Katowski won 1 when Sam had the buckle. Justin Bishop and Vidget Jr. Bishop won with the buckle. RVJ won 3 strap matches, 2 with the buckle. Gabby and Sarah. Gabby won when Sarah had the buckle, but they had to start 3 or 4 times. That one was contentious. Lorette and Bortolato left-handed match. Lorette won when Wagner had the buckle, and Bortatello won when he had the buckle. Caderet and Todd. Caderet won when Todd had the buckle. Michael Todd won when Caderet had the buckle. That was almost a 5-minute match. Caderet won when Todd had the buckle. Todd won on fouls when Caderet had the buckle. Todd wins the last one when Jerry has the buckle. The straps came off. It was decided on fouls. Matches that go double kings move or decided on fouls probably are not determined by the buckle. We should throw that data out. We should just throw that. We shouldn't count that data. That's not how science works. If you're going to say the buckle matters, it matters always. So maybe having the buckle makes it easier to foul out, like we said with the up ref or the down ref. So we don't throw any data out. This makes it more general, and if the buckle matters, it will come out in the wash. Wash! Oh, wait a second. So let's see. So the net effect of all of these matches is if you have the buckle won 44 times out of 78, and the people with the buckle lost 34 times. So do you still think the buckle matters? Well, I got to say that was counterintuitive. I thought having the buckle, you would definitely lose. But what likely happened was is there's some sort of bias or something in there, so it didn't really matter. I think the analysis was wrong. Data! Well, fortunately, we can check to see if there was something wrong. There is a formula called the chi-squared test. And what it says is you can determine if something that is supposed to be determined by chance, if the outcomes are biased such the fact that chance does not matter. And for our case, we have 1 degree of freedom for a 95% confidence. We need to do the chi-squared value and compare it to a 95% confidence, 1 degree of freedom, 3.841. So if we do the math, we had the observed value with the buckle was 44. We expected it to be 50-50. So we were expecting 39. If it was truly a coin toss, we're expected to be 39 and 39. If the buckle actually mattered, it would have, this would show out. So 44 minus 39 squared divided by 39. E is the expected outcome. We expect it, since it can be buckle or no buckle, just like a coin toss can be heads or tails. We expect it to be 39 versus we had 34 with the buckle minus 39 squared divided by 39. That's 0.641 plus 0.641 equals 1.282 less than 3.841. So even though there was 44 buckle wins, that's still equal, that is still possible under a fully chance-based system. You could flip a coin 78 times and get 44 heads or 44 tails, and it wouldn't mean that the coin is biased. So even though it looks like it looks like the buckle was a non-statistical factor, it is definitely within the realms of acceptable probability. And I ran the math just so we could so you could tell you when it stopped. In order for the buckle to have been significant one way or the other, it would have needed to be 48. So either the buckle had to win 48 times or the buckle had to lose 48 times. And that would have showed that it was something outside of the realm of a coin toss. So that would have meant things like having your back to the ref, having the down ref call your things, having the buckle turn your hand over when you arm wrestle, when you start arm wrestling. You needed a value of 48 out of 78 for that to matter. So once again, I'm almost getting tired of coming on here. The buckle flat does not matter in real world arm wrestling. And I would hope this would be comforting to you folks, because if the buckle mattered, I think you would demand people change things. Change things, what? Do you have anything else to say, Mr. Hutchins? I think next time we don't bring the emu on anymore. If you want to bring the emu on, maybe you and the emu can just talk by yourself. So other than that, I'm fine. Okay, I guess for the purposes of discussion, the buckle allegedly doesn't matter. The buckle side flat doesn't matter. There are other videos on here that explains why the physics of the straps don't work. And you can look at any group of arm wrestling matches out there on the internet, count the buckle wins, count the buckle losses, apply the chi-squared test to it, throw your results out there, and you can come to your own conclusions. I will do one better. If anybody can find a statistically significant sample of legitimate competition arm wrestling matches that shows the buckle does have a factor, show me your analysis, show me the videos, and I will get you a big prize and come on here and concede the point in a manner that will be well worth it to you. Do you have anything else, Mr. Hutchins? No, I'm good. I'm pretty good. Do you have anything, Mr. Emu? Bro science! Well, on that note, I bid you farewell. Thanks, children.